There's a big dilemma right now on Capitol Hill and among the Democratic base on how far we're to go with the whole budget fight and if we're going to actually shut down the government tomorrow. I'm about to publish an article that's more like an ebook. It's almost 22 fucking pages long, and I'm trying to find a way to condense it. But I really kind of dived into what do we stand to gain from a shutdown? And I think the biggest part for the whole budget that bothers me the most, obviously, is the way they're shifting the control of the purse to the executive branch. And I think this is something where Democrats have really fucking failed on communication and education on the matter. So here I come. And here is my source, straight from the government tracking bill website. And since most folks have the attention span of a gnat on here, I'm going to try and keep this under 5 minutes. And if it's too brief for you, feel free to go read my article on Substack.
Butterfly in the sky.
So let's start with section of the bill 3001. The chair of the committee on the budget of the House of Representatives may adjust the allocations, aggregates, and other budgetary levels to accommodate reconciliation legislation. The translation here is that normally Congress has to vote, to adjust the budget allocation. But in this case, the budget chair, who is, a Trump loyalist, they can change the federal spending without a full congressional vote. Now let's jump to section 5003. Adjustments to reflect changes in budgetary levels shall be made at the discretion of the chair without the need for further legislative action. This in particular is really changing the game. Remember when Trump froze aid to Ukraine back in 2019? That was illegal. But now this bill will, again, make it legal because it's restoring impoundment powers, meaning Trump can basically, delay, withhold, or redirect funding without Congress having a say in the matter. Not exactly control of the purse for Congress in that motion is. Now let's go down to section 5004, It says, revised allocations shall not be subject to mandatory reporting requirements under current budgetary law. This means that Trump could literally reallocate or freeze money in Congress. They wouldn't even know until it's too late. No reporting, no accountability, literally no checks and balances. And you all were pissed about Biden giving money to Ukraine. Now imagine if he had that kind of authority and he didn't tell you shit and did it anyway. Next is section 4002 that says, it is the policy of Congress to achieve a minimum of $2 trillion in deficit reduction. Exact reductions shall be determined at the discretion of relevant committee. So what gets cut? Medicaid, Social Security, education. The fuck knows? I don't. And you won't either because this bill does not specify. It's literally just leaving it up to Trump's political appointees to decide. That is literally how they can dismantle our social programs with zero accountability. And remember, our social programs, they don't see party lines. So yeah, your grandma could be devastated. Now I want to be very real here for a second. Think about this if you were a Republican voter. Would you be okay if a Democratic president had this level of power of the purse? Because remember, power never stays in one place forever. Imagine if a Democratic president wins the White House again, wins the Senate, wins the House of Representatives, and then they have the same authority of power over the budget because this budget is for 10 years. It's supposed to last from 2025 to 2034. Those DEI programs that you don't like, but under this, you'd never know about it until it's too late and the money's already been spent. Don't want transgenic mice studies? Again, they won't owe you any notification until after it's already been allotted and the money spent. See, this language in this bill, it's not specifically about Trump. Not if you're looking at it from a voter point of view. It's about setting a precedent that any president, Democratic, Republican, Independent, can hijack federal spending. And there will be nothing you can fucking do about it. Again, if you would not want Biden or Obama or, a future AOE style progressive president to be able to do whatever they want with the budget money, why would you support this current budget bill? Because that's literally what you're going to enable. They could literally tell agency heads to spend money a specific way, and you wouldn't have shit to be able to do about it. The way this budget is set up is unprecedented because it's not allocated. It's not saying specifics, nothing. It's just saying, hey, here's the money, do with it what you will, and we'll catch up with you later about the fallout. You really should not be supporting this bill unless they remove that language from it. And ultimately, that's why the Democrats are fighting this. And if you're a Republican, you should be fighting this too, just because of what potentially you could be dealing with that you don't like in the future because Trump enabled it now. It's really simple. If you don't like DEI, the last thing you want to do is push through legislation that can enable a Democratic president to spend on DEI programs and not have to clear it with the House or the Senate. Something to think about.